It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theater, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And Murray. Thormus Eve is upon us, Murr. Have you already got your tickets?
Not yet.
Will you be able to sleep tonight, or will you be too excited?
No, I'm working, so I won't be sleeping.
No! That's too bad.
I know.
I'm going to sleep like a baby.
I know you will.
Even though I'm going to be on my couch, because my mother's in my bed, and that's the way it is sometimes.
Things you gotta do for your parents.
Indeed. All right, so with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
You know, I think the most important thing is that, well, I'll tell you later. Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And we will probably watch it. Now, let's get to raging, but first, here's a word from our sponsors.
Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event, or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
Time for dancing.
There's nothing better than dancing on Thursday. Streaming. Oh, we've been streaming. And doing wow.
We were streaming, Jim.
Even Murray did 10 minutes of streaming on the weekend. You know what? It's probably he's not going to get any sleep tonight, because he's been having way too many Thorgasms as he touches himself thinking about Thor.
It's Thursday Eve.
I know. There's just going to be no sleep. There's just going to be straight jizz all night.
And I watched all 3 of those over the weekend.
I watched one of them today.
I've watched none of them.
I know that.
But I know you've watched some other crap, so let's let's talk about what we talked about streaming.
So we started with Flux Gourmet.
Gourmand?
Yeah.
Sure.
Flux Gourmet is a film about
Flux Gourmet.
the Sonic Catering Institute. What is that, you might ask? Well, in a nutshell, it's a group of artists that create sounds from food and combine this into a spectacle to behold in the form of performance art. If that sounds like a good launching point for a film, then Flux Gourmet may be exactly what you're craving. The film centers around a man named Stones, who has been hired by the Institute to document their process from preparation to performance and everything in between. Every character in this is extremely well written. Elle, Billy, and Lamina are a trio of artists unlike any I have ever seen on screen. They're all spectacular characters in their own way, but the film is stolen by Jan Stevens, the director of the Institute. She is played by Gwendolyn Christie in a performance whose extravagance is only matched by the clothes she wears.
Yes.
There is not one scene in this film that is boring or mundane. There is only scene after scene of original awesomeness. This film was so good that I guarantee that I will be watching it again and again through my remaining years. Flux Gourmet was a delicious smorgasbord for the senses. Or more simply put, it was Mondo.
Oh, so it was a tasty little number, you're saying.
Oh, so tasty.
So tasty. Well, Sonic catering may or may not be a career I knew about before seeing this film, but now I know my true calling. Bryce,
Yes.
can we create a studio in your new house when you finally get it, right beside the podcast studio and beside our band studio, where we can just, Flux Gourmet all day long?
We'll definitely need some surfaces that are easily wiped down.
Yes. Can it be made all in rubber or all in plastic? Either one works for me.
I will let my real estate agent know.
It'd be good if it was already made before we moved in.
Yes.
So the color saturation and film style at times appears to be a little influenced by early Peter Greenaway. But those were the only things influenced by him.
Yes.
The dialogue and concept carries a whole different level of aristocracy. The characters are strong and unique and so well written, and everything they say, I'm hanging on every single word.
I hear you.
The higher thinking of artists will often come off as overly highbrow and snobby, but with Peter Strickland, he always portrays a level of offbeat and subtle humor that just washes over you, especially in this film.
Yes.
Where this year, Cronenberg took us on an art trip with body horror, Strickland does his art shock with food and sound and flatulence. There's a scene that exemplifies this where you feel you are at a blood orgy food rave using soup and guts and a blender and a sound mixer to a nude dance banging her head into a microphone, and I wish I could have dropped E and was at that party all night long.
It was so awesome.
The sound and music in this film was so incredible and amazingly planned and structured. So precise. Cronenberg and Strickland are the kind of directors that are taking the art of film to new levels and stretching our imagination and senses to places we didn't think we could go. But for me, I have been so deprived of creativity this last year that these films bring me hope again for the future of cinema. I just wished I had seen this in theaters. But instead, this weekend, or that last weekend,
Yes.
we had Minions 4 or 5 or 7.
Whatever it
I have
was,
no
yeah.
clue. This film is weird and wonderful and artistic, and it's Mondo.
It is so Mondo.
This film was made for me.
Us.
It was made for us. It was so I had watched it once and then I went back and watched it again with the subtitles on because I didn't want to miss one word of dialogue.
Yeah.
That's how much I love the dialogue in this film.
Yeah, no,
and
it's just so
there
good.
there was the humor, like it's not like
Oh, no.
People who, if you're listening to me, the humor in this is so subversive and so dry. Like
Yeah,
it's
it is bone dry.
Especially with the guy who's recording this.
Yeah.
Like him and his
Stones.
flatulence problem
Yeah.
is just the whole way through the movie. It's just like, okay, my mind is completely blown.
As you say, it's a breath of fresh air. I mean, we've been watching so much stuff that's rinse and repeat, and then all of a sudden you get a film like this, and you're like, okay, cinema's not dead.
Yeah, it literally gave me hope. It literally gave me hope. So yeah, people, if you like the weird, like Bryce and I, this is definitely a movie for you. I'm talking about The Verm from Cinema Recall. You will love this film.
There you go.
Murray, on the other hand, I'm thinking he's glad he didn't see this one.
I'm sure I would have hated it.
He would have absolutely hated everything except for the E-trip gasm that we took with the blender. That I think you might have liked that scene because she was nude. Maybe.
Okay.
Well, we also
Doesn't mean it's a good thing.
That's right. So we actually saw that on VOD because I don't think any streaming service was playing in Canada.
I don't think so.
And the other one that we're now going to talk about from Murray's homeland was also on VOD.
Yeah, The Innocents, as in TS, innocent.
They're innocent.
They are innocent children. Well, no,
were they?
They're not.
Were they really innocent? I don't know.
It says it's from Norway. They spoke Norwegian, but it's really a Danish film. But during the bright Nordic summer, a group of children reveal their dark and mysterious powers. The adults aren't looking. Basically, playtime takes a dangerous turn.
Yes, it does.
Indeed.
So say the writers of IMDb.
That's right. And we got to watch this together, me and Murray, in my home cinema.
We did, yeah, and his 2,000-inch TV.
It's almost as big as his Thoner. It is a prototype, but it's almost as big as Murray's Thoner right now.
Yes. That was a weird album.
Raging Thoner.
Yeah. You know me, I love my Norwegian films.
Yes.
I haven't seen one yet that I didn't like.
This is good.
This one, not so much.
What?
Yeah, the CLFs were creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were some pretty gruesome moments.
There was.
As much as someone like me who doesn't like cats, that was just a horrific scene.
Yes, it was.
Which I'll never be able to forget.
Yes.
Yeah, they never really explain why these kids have
Don't
these
need to
powers, and yeah, I originally I thought the little girl was the creepy one. Turns out she wasn't.
There's someone creepier than her.
Yes. So much creepier.
I don't know. It was sort of entertaining, but I didn't really get, thriller or,
you didn't get any
drama out of it.
There was no Thoner for this movie, is what you're saying.
It was okay. It was meh.
It was just meh.
Wow.
Well, it's also in...
This is like the first Norwegian movie I think he hasn't just given a...
Yeah, he's usually gushes about them.
That's right. He's usually on fire.
Well,
There's usually a gusher.
I am planning on watching Worst Person in the World this weekend.
There you go. Well, you will probably... I'm hoping you like it. But you won't like her. I don't think.
What's the point?
She's literally the worst person in the world.
I think that's the point.
Other than the kid that's in this movie.
I'm okay with that.
What say you, Bryce?
The Innocents is a film for adults that is about the exploits of 4 children. It is a story that asks, what if a child had the power to punish someone or even kill with just a thought? Would they act impulsively? Would they regret it afterwards? Or would they develop a taste for it? This is to say, at least a very, very frightening concept. You combine that concept with a character like Ben, played by Sam Ashram, with a calculating uneasiness, and you get a truly horrifying film.
This is Psycho.
Like many superhero stories, and make no mistake, this is a superhero story.
Really?
The film starts with the villain and the heroes as friends. Ben meets Ida, and a friendship develops. Soon, Ida's autistic sister Anna and another neighborhood kid, Aisha, are introduced as this innocent group of kids slowly starts to lose their innocence as they discover that they possess unnatural power. Slowly, the sinister ways that lie just under the surface of Ben start to show, and Ben goes from friend to supervillain.
Dafoe.
The other 3 must team together to stop the corrupt power that Ben possesses. This is a film for anyone that wants to watch a superhero movie that Mickey Mouse hasn't Disney-fied. It is one of the better ensemble child casts in recent memory, with all 4 of them giving stellar performances. It is a slow burner with a frightening, a truly frightening concept.
Oh, totally.
I mean, these are undeveloped minds that have unlimited power. It is frightening.
It's like Brightburn 2.0.
Oh, with all 4. Yeah. So this concept is a style of superhero origin story that I have personally been waiting for. The Innocents was also Mondo.
What the hell is happening right now?
I love these 2 movies. The first 2 we reviewed this
You're
week.
welcome.
Thank you, because
you're so welcome.
Neither of them were on my radar, so I do. I would have seen Flux Gourmet eventually.
Oh yeah, of course.
This one I would probably have not. I would have missed. So,
well, you're very
I do
welcome.
thank you, Jim, because I loved both of them, and I truly love this movie. This is a horror movie, not just
So,
the not
save
just the
it.
kid, but
Save it. I
truly
want to talk more
horrifying.
about this.
Okay, go ahead.
But first, you know me. If you got the right chemistry with a bunch of CLF serial killers
yes,
in the making, then you have a recipe for creepy time Norwegian fun every time.
Nice.
There's no one creepier than Norwegian kids. Right, Mer?
Sure.
This film has such a slow burn, but started out so fucked up, you are instantly so invested and interested to see where this film is going to go. Mm-hmm. Two young CLF sociopaths in the making become friends over some freaky kitten play. Yes. And then you slowly start to realize some of these kids have special gifts. And I don't mean Norwegian Halloween candy making.
I don't know what that means.
Well, you know, like the Halloween candy that they can make it. It's a gift to make Halloween candy. It's not the same gift that they have. They probably could still make Halloween candy, Norwegian style.
Yeah, you can continue now.
It's it's a psychic connection that allows them to all experience how much of a schizoid one of the kids, Ben, is, as you'd mentioned. This build is slow yet horrifying.
I love Ben. As
we never know the levels Ben or our director will go with his abilities and his levels of torture he will inflict. Yeah. These CLF actors do a great job as they balance needing to be liked and figuring out the right and wrong. I could feel each one of their feelings as they progress this creepy little CLF tale. All this with the help of a music score and sound effects that were so perfect. I thought Flux Gourmet was perfect. Yeah. And then there was like a lot of nothing. Yep. And it was so perfectly done. Yep. This film does not shy away from taking you to horrors you think may or may not ever happen. Nothing is held back in the levels of horror our director takes us on. And you find out soon that no one is safe inside our bubble of our four young friends. Mm-hmm. This film proves that CLFs can be truly horrific, and if they are truly as creepy as this, they can be mondo. And, almost word for word verbatim, all of it a superhero movie.
It really was.
Yeah, and if all superhero movies were this good again, this too could make superhero movies be a natural mondo. But as usual, they usually get a rage because they're so unoriginal.
I give them Mez.
Yeah, I know. You're being a little... you're Mr. Generous these days.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, so we have a few things, I think, to unpack. I cut you off a little bit before.
You know, it's okay, but I want to just bring up the fact that how come every time we see a film that's not made in North America, the child actors are tremendous?
Yes.
Like they're not good.
They're tremendous.
They're tremendous.
Like they don't look like they're acting.
And we probably bat about 300 in North American
Can you
movies?
Explain 300 in a baseball term to someone who doesn't speak baseball?
So three out of every 10 kids in a movie in North America is good.
Okay.
And 10 out of 10 out of every kid.
Okay, I understand tens. I don't know these hundreds.
It's like so good.
I would say it's 9.5 because we've seen a couple in the last little while. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I think this is what I think.
Yes.
I think there's, and I could be wrong, so anybody who's listening, please correct me. Usually Philip corrects me. But if in Europe and the rest of the world, I think they have different rules and laws about how much time a kid can actually act. Like I know in Britain, the time that kids can physically do acting, it's like half of what they can do in the US. So I wonder if the kids, like they don't get their nap time or they don't get, mother's milk or whatever they need to make them happy. But, whereas the kids, they have a chance to go and,
Because, man, this was for
incredible kids.
Incredible performance.
And what a diverse cast, too. Like you had a real diverse cast.
Yeah, how cool was that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, world. Please take note.
Yeah,
the Innocent's pretty diverse.
Exactly, it couldn't be more diverse.
Yeah,
and it was just that's what we need.
Yeah, we need more of this.
We need what's on the screen to actually reflect what's going on in the world.
Yeah, the kid in this.
Yep.
It to me this kind of had a build of the whole Malachi factor, as I say, from Children of the Corn. Because, except not Malachi, the other creepy kid that plays the corn master, whatever his name is. I always remember Malachi because it's the redheaded kid. But
right.
in Children of the Corn, the other kid that was even super creepy.
Yeah.
It's just like you see him, and it's just like, from moment one, you're kind of like, this guy's not right. I mean, right away you get to see the cat scene. So.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, no, and the kid that played Ben, Sam Ashram, I hope he gets some more roles.
Oh,
he was
totally.
so good.
Yeah.
In this. I was just blown away. That scene with it when he's in the kitchen with his mother, and I won't spoil.
Oh yeah.
There, it's like he's just so good.
Oh yeah, we thought the cat scene was horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, people. This is another super slow burn.
It's a must see,
and it's truly horrifying. And I agree. I mean, it's the best superhero movie I've seen this year.
It's the best superhero movie I've seen this year, and it's also the best horror movie I've seen this year.
And also the best CLF movie.
There we go.
Creepy little fuckers are everywhere.
It hit the trifecta.
All right, so another movie that we got to see in cinemas, though.
In cinema.
Yeah, and the Murr didn't get to this, did you, Murr? Because you had too much work.
Had to work.
Murray's poor little body with all the work he's doing.
Yeah.
Although his bank account is very happy.
Like
all work and no play,
more
Murray.
like my poor little car, but
yeah, isn't there like there's a serial killer about that. Makes Murray a dull boy or something like
Something
that.
like that.
Sure.
And then he axes things. Did you bring your axe with you, Murr?
Give him the axe.
no.
So we got to see a movie called The Phantom of the Open, which I would have thought would have been a big draw for Murray because he likes things with the Phantom in the title.
Yes.
And where was it playing, Jim?
Oh, it was playing at Murray's least favorite cinema.
There you go.
There you go. This film and our introduction to Maurice Flitcraft.
I think he went by Morris.
Morris?
Yeah.
Not Maurice, yeah. He's not French. Maurice Flitcraft reminded me so much of my boy Bryce. His technology prowess and his starting his golf career so late in life made me really feel like I was watching the future of my adorable little friend Bryce. You all know how much I hate sports movies and even more how I hate biopics and period pieces. But then I've never seen a sports period biopic with the mesmerizing Mark Rylance in.
He's so good.
Oh, with his acting and his producing role, I might add. But in addition to the mesmerizing Mark Rylance,
Yes,
we also got to see the Undoubted Sally Hawkins.
we did.
And a cast of characters so endearing you can't stop smiling the whole movie. Was this film predictable? Hell yes. Was it corny at times? Oh God, yes.
So corny.
And are these the type of movies that usually make me rage? 100% yes. But when you create characters so endearing and rich, and a story that has an underdog plot that gives hope to everyone who sees this, you can't help but melt a rage-filled heart. The music in the 70s period piece was awesome and fit every scene, and with damn perfect pacing that would drive you along like a long, perfect putt. You can't help but be happy. And when the story would start to get, sort of a little draggy, as biopics often do, they would throw in an adorable, cute comedy relief scene or a tender little moment. You couldn't help but smile, or in my case, laugh out loud through most of the film. As much as everything about this movie is normally everything I rage about, the fact I was bawling my eyes out in one of the scenes, the final scenes, it kind of sealed the deal. Mark Rylance is still mesmerizing, and I thought I may never say this in my life ever. But a movie that is a period piece, biopic, sports movie is Mondo.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it would make it to Mondo for you.
Yeah, it's, you know what? I think a lot of, well, we'll talk a little bit later, but yeah, it was totally Mondo for me. I had a smile on my face the whole movie, and I cried. Like, nothing makes me cry. I didn't even cry when the kitten died in the Innocents.
I had a smile too, but
it wasn't as big a smile.
I had some issues.
Okay, well, I figured you might.
I usually do. The Phantom of the Open is a film about social classes. It is an underdog story. It is a sports biopic. It's a family drama, and it's a comedy. It tells the story of Morris Flitcroft, played by Mark Rylance. So good. Who is a crane operator who was able to play in the British Open, even though he was by no means a professional golfer.
He never played before.
It is one of those stories that could never happen, but did.
Yes.
The film breezes along with a fairly bouncy 70s soundtrack. The film finds much of its heart in the relationship between Morris and his family, which includes the always brilliant Sally Hawkins as his wife. The comedy is mainly focused in the golf scenes. His epic round of golf is well documented, as he holds the record for the worst round in British Open history. A record that I reckon will never be broken. Morris's character was fairly well developed, with the exception of one major thing, and this bugged me. I just couldn't get over it. I really don't know why he was so obsessed with golf. I can't imagine that witnessing Tom Watson win the British Open in 1975 would cause the level of desire to compete in the Open that it seems to have. There must be more to that story. One other minor complaint is that while Sally Hawkins has some great scenes, she's relegated to the role of the supportive wife, with her character being criminally underdeveloped. I desire to know more about her, but perhaps that just speaks to how mesmerizing she is. It is amazing that this gentleman was able to enter many different tournaments under various aliases. This is a story that I cannot imagine happening in this day and age, but I'm glad Morris was able to pull this off in the 70s, as it made for one heck of an entertaining film. Because of the little minor problems I had, I couldn't get to Mondo.
I just have to laugh at you, though, because those things in particular are things that you just have to imagine that somewhere else in his story, they only had an hour and a half to write this movie.
But there's stuff that I thought they could have lost. I thought they got maybe a little too much whimsy in some places.
Yeah, but that kind of took away from, it would kind of do a bit of a dip where it was starting to get draggy, and then they'd have to put in a little scene that probably didn't happen in real life. But I mean, I knew those points would bother you, but I kept thinking to myself, really, does it really matter? The overall of the film, the arc of it, what happened? It's like, can't you just use your, I know sometimes there's imagination in there. Mm-hmm. Because I've seen it.
Yes.
That maybe there was something more.
But the thing is that I needed, like, stuff that they kind of went on about. Maybe they could have shortened that and did the stuff that was, like, they should have spent more time, and you know what? I didn't make the movie, obviously, and this is just what I would have liked to see. But it is so interesting that he continued to go under different aliases and disguises and stuff.
Yeah,
I would have liked to see a little more of that. That was all squished together.
Oh, you wanted to see like him doing like a Pink Panther off kind of thing?
Not necessarily, but it didn't need to be condensed into 3 minutes, is all I'm saying.
I kind of like that, so that was good for me. I didn't want to see Pink Panther. I've already seen that.
I also needed more Sally Hawkins, and I'm just being greedy. And you know what? Such is life. I really enjoyed this. The Phantom of the Open was quite the delightful meh.
There you go. So we're going to have to talk about Sally Hawkins later, I think, though.
Yeah.
The answer is yes, we do.
Well, we have to talk about it, but blah, blah.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to be talking about Sally in the list coming up. Yeah, that's exactly the truth. That's exactly the truth.
Ja. I don't want to.
Very eloquent there.
Thank you.
A doobity ja.
I am a wordsmith.
You are.
Bam.
Yeah. I hate doctors.
There you
all
go.
I got.
That's the Murman Minute. Oh, okay. But can we at least ask you? Did you at least get someone to stick their finger in your ass?
No.
Did they touch your balls?
That wasn't on the doctor.
How much does it cost for doctors to touch your balls now?
I would have no idea. You have to ask yours.
What about the finger?
No idea.
You didn't even have to pay for that? It was free? Is it free now? I guess in Canada we can ask that anytime we go. Hey, I need a few things checked.
So I just need one.
Yeah.
And it involves my bum hole.
That's so sick.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
We can have the same rage.
Is it to do with superhero movies?
No.
All right. Is it to do with I don't get enough bunghole when I go to the doctor? When we go to the doctor. We should go together.
We should go together.
Who's your doctor?
Doctor's got 2 hands.
How big are your doctor's fingers?
I actually don't have a doctor.
Oh, well, my doctor's fingers are fairly large, so you can come to mine.
Fingers. Who wants? It's all about the fist.
Well, his whole fist is pretty small. But my rage this week
Yes.
is superhero movies. Why can they not be all that good? Now, as we're coming into Thor's Day, I'm not afraid that Thor's Day is not going to be good. Because, and this is what I'm saying, we got Taka in it. We got Fat Thor, who becomes Thin Thor.
No, I wouldn't say he becomes thin.
But we got double Taka in this because he's a voice actor in it, and he's also the director of it.
He is. 2 times the Taka, 2 times the fun.
That's right. So, other than Thor, just stop making superhero movies unless you make them over in international waters.
Or just have Taka make them all.
Yeah, either A, get Taka to make them all, or B, make them outside of North America.
Yes.
Those are the 2 rules I want put forward.
I concur.
Because I'm a little tired about... I think the number of superhero movies is multiplying by the minute. I understand that Shazam 2 is coming out also. Shazam 1 was good. But I'm like, can we just have a whole year break of superhero movies?
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. 2023, no superhero movies.
Yeah, just don't make them for a whole year to get people to like other things.
We'll be looking forward to it in 2024.
That's right.
They can take a year off.
I think so.
Yes.
On behalf of the film industry,
yes,
I will have to say no.
Are you working on a superhero movie right now?
But there's so many other films that can be made.
Well, there you go. You could be making another Joe Pickett or whatever you're working on.
Yeah, Joe Pickett.
2, or make a second one.
See, the problem
Jolene Pickett.
Your all logic is superhero movies make them money.
Yeah, I know that.
And
I wish they didn't.
And the Innocents and the Flux Gourmet do not make them
Yeah, but they're good.
Yeah, but they're good.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to them.
Matters to me.
I dare you talk to anybody in Hollywood who's a producer of any film. They will say it does not matter.
Yes, it's true.
What matters is how much money they can make.
Taking that cookie cutter
and Disney
making
is
the same
at
cookie.
the top of their evil plans.
Yeah.
So there you go. You can blame Disney all you like.
Mickey Mouse is a dick.
He's a total dick. Oh. All right, well, that's enough raging for that. Let's pass the baton.
That would be you.
All right. My rage is... I watched 2 amazing films this week, and they were both on VOD. I do not want to watch these on my television. I want to watch them in cinema. That is my rage. Flux Gourmet and The Innocents need to be seen on the big screen. My screen is big, but it's not big enough.
I've seen your screen. It could be a little bigger.
Yes.
Could be. Yeah, I had that rage sort of percolating, but I'm more worried about superhero movies taking over the rest of this year.
Yeah, they will. The release dates are out.
It's going to happen.
I don't even want to know how many there are this year. Before the end of the year.
There's 297 of them.
They're going to cram it all in this year.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Greetings, cinephiles. Are you looking for a movie analysis podcast that stands above the rest? Then look no further than Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters.
We analyze good movies, we analyze bad movies, and yes, we also analyze the in-betweens of the world of cinema.
So if you like what you hear, find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
And yes, my friends, we are 420 friendly. So when you listen to us,
Smoke it if you've got it.
Weed.
I don't know what that means.
Means weed, baby. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit later about Sally Hawkins. But right now, we're going to talk about our assignment,
What was that?
which was Mississippi Burning.
Oh, I watched it.
I believe
course.
our assignment is to watch movies there, Bryce.
That's true. It's also that.
Yeah, I did good.
First off, Mississippi Burning I haven't seen since I saw it in cinemas when it first came out. I'm not sure about you.
I have seen it one more time. Yeah, I've seen it twice. Once in cinema, and then about 10 or 15 years later.
In second watch of it, I'm like super dated in retrospect, and choppy direction, and it was a really important topic that wasn't as great as I remember. I would give it a meh if I like.
It's a high
at
meh.
At the time I saw it, I was like, "This is the best thing that I've ever seen." Because I think at the time it was one of the only films that was really talking about this topic.
It's got some very good performances in it, but yeah, there's some issues with editing, I guess.
Yeah, it was choppy. I felt choppy. It was kind of like this scene didn't meld as well into the next scene.
I can see that. So yeah, no, I would also say it's a high meh because I there's a lot of good in it, but there's enough in it.
Well, the topic is just so rich,
it's
right?
Really
and Murray's love of his life is pretty great in this film.
Hawkman.
That would be Gene Hackman,
Hawkman,
a.k.a. Lex Luthor.
Hawkman.
The original Lex.
Yes.
So the question, so do you have something you want to say about it other than it was a high meh?
Nope.
All right. So let's get to the dirty bird.
All right.
And I'm going to write it down.
Okay. I'm just going to circle it. Oh,
all right.
Not because you stole my pen.
Well, here's a pen.
All right.
And I've got it written.
And release. There we go. Here's what I did. I
watched the movie. And
I compared the scenes that Willem Dafoe, nobody knows who he chose yet.
Yeah.
we both know.
They didn't show me.
But I'm going to tell you the process I used first. I looked at both Willem Dafoe and Frances McDormand, and I isolated the scenes that they had with Mr. Hackman.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, Gene Hackman out-mesmerized Dafoe.
Yes.
And he didn't out-mesmerize McDormand. And that final scene between him and McDormand just solidified the fact that she's just so good.
She's queen. She is the queen of cinema now.
If ever, Hackman was going to take a bunch of people down, this was the role.
Yeah. He's not even on our mesmerized.
He's not even on our mesmerized.
That is also a problem I have.
Well, he can't be now.
He can't be now because Frances McDormand took him out.
But yeah, and this was such a. He was at his best here.
Oh,
he
yeah.
Really
like literally, I've never seen him better.
Took him down. And as I say, that was my comparison. I'm like, you know what? Dafoe versus Hackman. But Frances McDormand versus Hackman. Who did? And
you know what? You're right because Dafoe was so mooted compared to Hackman, and it's like he doesn't do that very often. Like when he's in a scene, it's like you can't look anywhere else. But and even though the character wasn't really likable, he still could have Dafoe'd him up.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there was a question of the. She had more meat to her character or anything, because sometimes we get a showdown where one person gets to just chew up the scenery and the other one's doesn't.
Yep.
And it's just the way that it was written. But I think that the roles were very even as well as far as
screen time.
This was a very, very fair fight, and McDormand takes it.
Yep. Well, we've been saying it for years, folks. If we ever get Viola Davis and her in the same movie, this is going to be the biggest battle of the lists.
It would be an epic battle,
and
the
epic
likes
also
that we have never witnessed,
as
in the
well as
history of
epic.
cinema.
It would be epic.
It would be that too.
Now, Mur, before we talk about Sally, have you got an assignment for us this coming week?
Yeah, I scraped something up. I had no idea what you were gonna do, so it's like.
Well, we might need to watch a Sally Hawkins film, but we're going to talk to Bryce in a minute. But if we don't, let's have
I
it.
found another McDormand movie.
Nice.
Hail
Caesar? Nice.
Which, from all accounts, is a really bad movie with a lot of really big names in
It's
it.
pretty
It
good.
wasn't that bad. I kind of liked it.
And
I did too.
Francis is going up against Bryce's BFF,
Yeah.
Tilda Swinton,
Whoa.
because apparently Clooney's not on our list either. So,
Nope.
or Josh Brolin.
Nope.
They could also go versus each other in a couple other movies.
Oh, that's just the one I pulled up.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad you pulled this one because I don't think it's a fair fight in the Burn After Reading.
Yeah.
It's
Well, no, Swinton's hardly in that.
yeah, exactly.
Well, she's not in it 5 minutes, so it wouldn't be a movie that would qualify.
Yeah.
I forget.
But I think she's in this one a little bit more.
What part she has in it, but yeah, that one was all Francis.
So I am
I'm excited
I'm
about
excited
that.
about
I like
this.
Hail Caesar.
I've only seen Hail Caesar once in the theaters.
And
I don't
according to
I
IMDb,
remember
it
liking
is on Amazon Prime, so hopefully I can find
Murray,
it.
you are the sweetest man that's walked this planet.
Yeah, well,
There you go.
Okay, so Sally Hawkins. This is why we have to talk about her, because she's on our Undoubted list.
She is.
But
What was her movie before this last one? 'Cause if it
so she's
was
made a
Mesh-
few. She's made a
Yes.
few actually. So she kind of had put out a ton during the pandemic.
Oh.
But okay, the most important question that I
Is-
have a couple. So
Yeah.
The Shape of Water, as we both know, was a Mondo.
Absolutely.
Now, here's a question. Paddington 2 is a mix with people and animation. Does it count?
I think it counts.
Okay, so have you seen it?
I have.
And?
It's Mondo. I
Okay.
love that movie.
Well, everybody talks about how great it is. I'm going to watch it at some point. Okay.
It's so good.
Godzilla King of Monsters.
Mondo.
Okay, I agree. Now, have you seen Eternal Beauty? It came out in 2019.
I don't know.
And have you seen... Well, this is a TV movie. It doesn't count. And Spencer, you gave a meh to.
That is a man.
And then we don't have to watch any Sally Hawkins films because you just gave The Phantom of the Open a meh. So Sally Hawkins is no longer
What was the-
Undoubted.
So what was the one before Phantom of the Open?
Ben Spencer.
Oh. Well, she's not Undoubted anymore then.
That's what I'm saying.
apparently.
That's why I was wondering why that one
the Phantom
why
of the
one
Open
thing
is Mondo. No, it wasn't.
it was Mondo to me.
It was very good, but I feel so bad.
Yeah, because you're terrible.
I'm a dick.
Yeah.
I just
Okay,
bounced-
so-
I just bounced
so-
one of my favorite actors ever.
Okay,
off of the
so
Undoubted
but
list.
to your point,
It's the way
is
it
she
goes.
mesmerizing?
Well, well, the problem is
Because if we put her on the mesmerized list, Mark Rylance took her off of that last movie.
she.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, well, there we go. She can't be mesmerizing, and she needs...
By the way,
so there's a movie she's out after A Phantom of the Open called A Boy Called Christmas, which sounds like it's going to be...
Sounds like
Sounds like-
It sounds like it's going to be a range.
Yeah, sounds like it, but you never know.
You never know. It could be a meh. And
Anyways,
then it stars a bunch of good people.
Just let's stop talking about her because I'm kind of bummed.
Yeah,
now.
well, it's your fault because you should have liked that movie
she will
more.
now curse your name for the rest of her days.
That she's going to say Bryce Hollingsworth. I hate him.
No, she'll call him Bruce.
Oh,
Bruce Hollingsworth. All right.
Oops.
We're going to have a long intro here.
Yeah, I'm kidding because I don't know if I'm ready either.
All right.
Last week on Rage or Dare. As predicted, Bryce took the time to cry like a diaper rash afflicted baby when he was dared to see the 1998 Steven Seagal film, The Patriot, just in time for July 4th. Unlike Bryce, this week Jim will take his rage session like a man and get his opportunity to Rage or Dare. Now let's check in with Bryce and see who the bigger American patriot is. Seagal or all of the Australians in the other movie titled The Patriot that came out in the year 2000. Wait a minute, how many films are there called The Patriot? Let's see, there's Patriot Games, Patriots Day, not sure if that counts out. Anyway, let's check in with Bryce and find out if any of them are worth lighting fireworks over.
All right.
I thought you were watching the Mel Gibson one.
So did I.
Nope. It was the 1998 The Patriot, not the 2000 The Patriot.
Never heard of it.
Well, it stars Steven Seagal.
Nice.
So, yeah, I was like, you know what? I don't know why The Patriot, the 2000 one's on this, but okay, and not realizing
And the 2 hour and 45 minute runtime wasn't going to do it?
Yeah, no, I still remember liking that movie.
Did you still watch it?
No, I was about to, and then it just occurred to me.
But you should have watched it just
I
for
looked
the July
at the piece
4th
of paper
weekend.
again, because I'm like, because I looked at it and it said The Patriot 2000. I was like, I'm pretty sure that this was 1998. I don't think I have the right movie. So then I look back and it's like, okay, it isn't. So then I pull up The Patriot 1990. It's like, crap, it's a Steven Seagal movie.
Yummy.
Mr. Hard to Kill.
He is hard to kill.
He's also above the law.
He is also above the law.
He blew up our bridge.
He's also out for justice.
He's a lot of things.
And he's always under siege.
And he's... This is going to go on for hours now.
Okay, so Steven Seagal stars as, wait for it, Dr. Wesley McLaren in the 1998 major motion picture The Patriot. Yep, Steven Seagal is a doctor in this one. Do I really need to continue?
This could be the funniest movie ever made.
The film takes place in a town where some super virus from the military is released by some right-wing fanatic organization who want, I don't know, something to do with freedom, I think. So they release this virus in the town, which infects both them and the townspeople.
No.
But they think that they have the antidote, but it turns out that they don't. So then, apparently the only one that can save the day is Dr. Seagal, who smashes through some windows and breaks into a high-security military facility.
Cures it with high kicks and punches?
Yeah, where he does some experiments and holds up some smoking beakers and eventually figures out that the cure for the virus is some flower. So all the military guys go out to the field and pick some flowers, and they load them onto a helicopter that proceeds to fly over the town and drop the flowers.
Drop the flowers.
Just the flowers, not processed?
So the town gets covered in these flowers, and apparently that cures everybody. What?
So it was like the Wizard of Oz when they go through the poppy field?
So apparently, being in the vicinity of these magical flowers will cure this virus that killed a good portion of the population of this town. I'm sorry, but there is no killer virus that exists where in order to cure it, all you have to do is be near the antidote. That doesn't happen. That's not a thing.
It happened right there.
This could be the dumbest ending that I've ever seen, and I have seen The Life of David Gale. Still, I did not laugh so many times through this. I haven't ever laughed so many times than watching this Steven Seagal deliver line after line as a doctor. It was smile-inducing through the whole thing, I must admit. Like watching him play a doctor.
Trying to pronounce science words.
Is so...
Was it as good as watching Denise Richards play a doctor?
Yes.
It was... Those two rivaled each other. I mean, to be honest... No, because this was... Hers was cringeworthy. This just kind of made me happy watching Steven Seagal be Doctor or whatever. Dr. McLaren. Yeah. Whole film was a mess. It was still a rage, but it was a kind of a happy rage.
It's hard to hate something so much.
It was so insane.
We have to have a new classification. I think we have to add a new classification.
Let's drop flowers on the town. Everybody's cured.
Because there's rage because we're so angry after seeing it. Mm-hmm. We have to come up with another rating just for the Rage or Dare. Because the movie can be terrible.
Yes.
But we still may enjoy it.
Yes.
So what equals a...
There is a 10-minute sequence in this where I'm like, this is brilliant.
brilliantly bad.
But it was only brilliant because it was so over the top bad that it was like it was a so funny, you're so bad it's funny type of deals there for about 10 minutes. And then there are big stretches where it's just awful. Like it's just truly awful. But there was enough in here where I was like, is this a meh? Because, man, I smiled through a lot of this.
Okay, so did he have to punch anybody?
Yeah, he got into a couple little fights, but, nobody got their arms snapped or anything. So, it's kind of a letdown.
Kicks? Was there a high kick?
No high kick.
Not one?
By 1998, Seagal was getting pretty fat already.
Okay, so he couldn't do the high kicks.
I mean, it's not like spray hair with the kind of Dracula type hair that he ends up in like 5 years later.
Yep.
He's got like a series of movies that have the same character in it.
What would be a really good movie?
What's that?
For Murray. Is Steven Seagal and Liam Neeson together.
Oh, yeah. That could happen.
Old man Neeson and old man Seagal.
Yes. Anyways, this was a rage, but it was a happy rage.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to go with the dare bag because I'm kind of afraid after the last time I took Bryce's. And I said I wouldn't cry like a baby, but...
As you should be.
All right, here goes.
Yeah, don't be looking. Some of those are showing what they are.
I'm looking in your eyes.
All right.
I'm melting in your eyes.
How could you resist but look in my eyes?
Okay, what? Is this a movie?
Apparently. What is it called?
Atlantic Rim Resurrection?
Atlantic Rim Resurrection?
It sounds like a porn film.
As opposed to Pacific Rim?
That sounds straight to DVD.
Yeah.
It's unrated.
That would be straight to DVD.
Okay, hold on. Let's find out if it had a... I see filming locations, technical. It might be a straight-to-TV movie.
Yeah, I think you got to choose again. I think we got to have a little harder rule on these ones that are, because it's got to have a release. Otherwise, it's
Yep. It's made for TV to be bad for TV. It's like two guys in their basement made it, and then it got on Amazon. Okay, so what about Valley of the Ditches?
What?
I think we might be choosing another one, Jim.
Okay, FYI, Atlantic Rim Resurrection got a 1.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Damn.
I'm sure it did, but it also probably never got screened in a movie theater ever.
Apparently, Valley of the Ditches doesn't exist, so maybe it was supposed to be Valley of the Dolls, and spell check did something weird.
Nah,
okay, third time's a charm.
That's what they say. Let's see if it's true.
Oh! Did this get released in cinemas? Because it's the sequel to the one you had to watch, Highlander Endgame 2000.
It did get released.
Yeah, Highlander
in
Endgame was the final movie of the series.
It was definitely released in cinema. Have a good time with this one.
That was where the guy from the TV show met the guy from the movie.
It's very exciting.
I'm a little frightened of this because
should be.
I hated the second one. I was so hoping they would never make another one.
You know which one I hated?
The second
first one?
All of them.
Any of them that had Sean Connery in it?
Sean Connery as what was he, Spanish?
He was a Scottish dude playing a
Spanish. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. That's all I want to say.
Wow,
yeah, no, have fun with Highlander Endgame.
2000.
Man, I'm just sad that you didn't... the audience dare bag. Come on, guys. We need romantic comedies.
Or musicals. All right. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to Extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, for the voice of Rage or Dare. We love you, buddy, so much. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, or send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see a terrible movie to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, pretty please, make us rage. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on!